Right now at 6 o'clock, the Department of War has revealed the identity of 4 Army Reserve soldiers who lost their lives as part of Operation Epic Fury. That is the ongoing U.S. and Israeli military campaign to eliminate Iran's nuclear program, also the missile infrastructure. Their names on your screen. The Department of War says they died on March 1st during a drone attack in Kuwait. The Pentagon confirms a total of 6 U.S. soldiers have lost their lives so far. 2 more names to be released. Increasing tensions have already caused economic impacts. Augusta McDonald now with more on that.
Yeah, that's right, John. So no, these escalating tensions in the Middle East are also roiling global energy markets, and they're driving up the price you're going to pay at the gas pump. I spoke with an Anchorage economist today to get an idea of what a spike in oil prices means for our state.
Global markets have been anticipating reports of U.S. and Israeli military buildup near Iran for weeks.
Markets started to get wind that there might be potential action in January and early parts of February. You can see this trend start to reverse itself as that pressure was ramping up. And you can see the market's response to the last couple of days of the United States actions here at the end of the chart.
Oil prices jumped from $65 to $75 a barrel by market close Tuesday. AAA reports gas prices in Alaska rose about 10 cents a gallon since last week. Watson says the price of oil is expected to eventually return to pre-conflict levels, around $50 a barrel. But when that happens depends on how long the fighting lasts. In his first live comments since the military operation against Iran began, President Trump said Monday the U.S. will take as long as needed to remove the threat of Iran's ballistic missiles and nuclear program.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
If the Trump administration decides to scale back this conflict or scale it up, will be an important determinant for the ultimate trajectory of energy prices in the future.
The Trump administration announced Tuesday Navy protection for energy shipments through the Strait of Hormuz, a key route for the world's energy supply. Watson says the announcement helped calm markets slightly.
Again, Augusta reporting there. And with rising oil prices, lawmakers in Juneau asking how much the state is set to benefit. Senate President Gary Stevens said there was excitement in the Capitol building after hearing the news, although that optimism was tempered by the brutality behind why it is increasing. Oil contributes a large part of the Alaska state budget, so while higher oil prices could temporarily mean more money for the government, there's no certainty in how long that can last and when it will dip. Some lawmakers say they want new revenue streams that are less volatile than oil.
So we have the tools to correct these deficits, to support ourselves, not tied to something that we cannot control, which is international oil prices, and sadly, counting on wars where people are being killed to support our state.
House Minority Leader Delana Johnson also said the price of oil could have a significant impact on the state budget, but would prefer not to increase it on a temporary oil rise. For more on how the price of oil is impacting the state and expectations that lawmakers are setting in both parties, you can visit our website or our mobile app.
All right, and back at home today in Fairbanks, Governor Mike Dunleavy addressed the Greater Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce about several topics, including the conflict with Iran.
Dunleavy says that the Strait of Hormuz, where much of the world's oil comes from, is basically shut down, causing oil prices to rise. He acknowledged that this may be good for the state budget, but could also hurt Alaska's families. The governor then talked about developments related to the liquid natural gas pipeline. He says its development could lead to data centers and greater international connections for the state.
Finally, the governor also mentioning leaving the state in a better position for the next governor. He says it requires a new fiscal plan for the state, which may mean policy changes like the introduction of a state sales tax. But much of the focus he says, for the interior relies on the LNG pipeline and attracting investment to the interior.
This gas line project that we're working on is going to be huge for Fairbanks, the interior, the entire state. It's going to change the paradigm for decades to come. It's going to produce cheap electricity, cheap heating, gas for businesses, gas for schools, gas for hospitals, you name it, and it will attract businesses up here. So gas is going to be key to the future.
Well, the governor is scheduled to stay in Fairbanks. He's supposed to speak with the Environmental Protection Agency tomorrow. The governor and the EPA expected to talk about things like managing permafrost, also haul trucking.
Now on to an update out of Unalaska. The fire department says it's contained a large grass fire that sparked yesterday afternoon. Firefighters say wind made it a challenge to put that blaze out. No injuries or structure damage have been reported at this time.
And tonight we're seeing some new video into the newsroom showing the windstorm that took place in Kaktovik over the weekend. Look at that. Visibility, a big problem out there. They had the whiteout conditions. Pretty gnarly. Those conditions a lot different than what we saw in the Matsu Valley today. Clear skies, still very cold. Photojournalist Freddie Wheeler capturing that beautiful video for us.
Yeah, tough assignment out there with this drone. We've got wind in some areas, clear skies in others, but one common denominator, it is cold out there. Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry is tracking all this.
Yeah, Melissa, where's the warm-up? When's the warm-up?
It's coming. It is coming. We're slowly but surely inching back closer to normal temperatures for this time of year. That'll happen at the end of the week, but we do still have some weather alerts in place tonight. Winter weather advisory near Kaktovik for that blowing snow, blizzard-like conditions there. It is improving after what we saw over the weekend, but still seeing those wind gusts up over 40 miles per hour. Winter storm watch now in effect for the eastern Alaska Range passes, as we do have a storm on the way for later this week, and that storm right now in southeast still prompting winter storm warnings and advisories. Juneau seeing fresh snow today with more on the way tonight and tomorrow. Otherwise, clear skies from Fairbanks to Anchorage into Palmer, and those temperatures a little warmer than they were this time last night. 14 in Anchorage with that beautiful view of the sunset from Hilltop. I do expect temperatures to drop back to about 5 below tonight in Anchorage, 31 below in Fairbanks. Juneau holding on in those 20s with snow showers, and Bethel dropping to around 18 below. Tomorrow, really similar to what we're seeing here today, but once we get to the end of the week, warmer temperatures, more snow across the state, and I'll have those details coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, it's going to get warmer. Yes. Thank you, Melissa. All right, the school bus driver strike entered its second day in the Matsu borough. Some families feeling frustrated as they struggle to get their children to school.
That's right. John Lauren Maxwell met with a Musilla mom who says the strike has left her without options. Her kids are staying home.
Elizabeth Fitzgibbon says she's happy to give her two girls a breath of fresh air.
They've been cooped up in the house a little bit.
But given the choice, she'd rather they were in school. Fitzgibbon doesn't drive, and her husband works odd hours. She doesn't want to keep her daughters home.
And they do better at school.
But feels she doesn't have a choice. On top of that, both girls have special needs.
I love to go to school because I want to learn.
Mom worries they're not getting the services they deserve.
I'm not a teacher that's good with the special needs, and they don't want to do some of the school like the teachers are trained.
At the bus yard in Wasilla, dozens of buses are sitting idle, while drivers who are members of the Teamsters Union continue to picket the transportation company that holds the Matsu bus contract. Workers say they sympathize with families who are stuck without transportation, and yet
this strike is going to lead to improved busing service in the valley, and it's something that we think that the communities here deserve.
Back at the Fitzgibbon house, they've been talking about the situation.
I know the bus drivers strike mean they want money.
Her mom says all that she wants,
let's get this strike to be over and get our kids back in school,
is to see it come to an end. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
Durham Transportation, the company that holds the bus contract, has said it's willing to return to the bargaining table with a mediator. Those talks now scheduled for mid-March.
Well, U.S. and Alaska flags at half-staff today in honor of former state legislator Craig Johnson, who passed away at the age of 72 this week. Johnson served in the Alaska House of Representatives in 2007 for 10 consecutive years. He served again between 2003, also 2023 and 2024. The U.S. Coast Guard has now confirmed 25-year-old Todd Meadows died after falling overboard while fishing off the coast of Alaska back on February 25th.
Meadows was a deckhand on the Aleutian Lady, which is featured on the reality show Deadliest Catch. The Coast Guard says the crew on the Aleutian Lady was able to recover Meadows from the water, but attempts to revive him were unsuccessful. His family says they remember his dedication and passion for the work that he did.
He wasn't out there to make friends. He wasn't out there to click with people. He was just out there to work and to do what he loved.
And Meadows was the newest member of the Deadliest Catch crew, and he was filming his first season. A GoFundMe has been set up by the family. We have a link on our website, mobile app.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.